Hey everybody, welcome back to this mess I got here. I made some progress, so this is just an update video. I'm not actually building anything on camera, but it's been a while since I did an update, so I wanted to show you what I got done. I have, let me see if I can do this by hand. The Ronnie Sox Comet is painted, decals in process. I cut the front end off. And I think I might have said that in the last video, I'm not sure. The hood, everything's ready to finish the decals and then put the clear on. So that's kind of what that's going to look like when it's back on. I'm going to have to, after I clear it, I'm going to have to do the grill with probably like a silver and gray mix maybe, and then a black wash for the details. And Corvette is also painted. Still have a lot more decals to put on. I made my own for the side for the Oric and Zach name. I did that with picture of the car, and I just cropped out the lettering and resized it about 5 times till I got the right size. And trimmed it as close as I could. I think it looks pretty decent. So the chassis is done for this one too, and I'll show you those. This is the one for the Corvette. Let me try and move this camera and get it in the picture. Okay, yeah, there. It's kind of hard for me to see what I'm filming, but anyways, not a whole lot of detail in here. It's just the basic Corvette chassis, made up a 4-link rear. It's the engine from the AMT 66 Nova. Made a roll bar. This modified production, they didn't have full cages back then, just a roll bar. So that's ready. I took the firewall, I took off the heater box and the master cylinder, so I got to come up with a master cylinder to put on there yet. Oh, and I dug up a Hurst Shifter from the parts box. Tried to do a little bit of detail paint on the dash. Carburetors look out of scale to me, but they're nice carburetors. They are definitely out of scale. I shouldn't even say they look out of scale. They are out of scale. But I use them a lot, and you know, when the hood's on, you're not going to see it. So that's the chassis for the Corvette. And the chassis for the Comet is here. And that's the Revell Pro Sportsman chassis. Really didn't take many modifications at all. The wheelbase worked out, which is unusual for the stuff I do. Usually I have to shorten. I may have shortened this, I'm not sure. I don't believe I did. I don't see a splice in there, so I guess I didn't have to shorten this one. And it also has the Future Attractions tires that I like so much. I made the roll cage from scratch, like normal. And this one, I made the nitrous solenoids and nitrous lines. They gave me a whole lot of problem, because even after I had them finished and I mocked everything up, they didn't go under the hood. So I had to gently push down on the hood and try to bend the wires down. But I think overall, I'm satisfied with it. I think it looks pretty good. And the paint on the roll cage is to me, mica blue. Same thing I did the body with. Then I also started another new project. As you can see, scratch built roll cage here. And this one again, also no modifications in length. I had to widen the pan a little bit, trim a lot of the back and widen the sides. is in primer. I'm not sure yet if this is going to be done in aluminum or black or carbon fiber, because this is going to be like a newer style race car, not a vintage like I usually do. That's why it's got the funny car cage, if you can see. Yeah, made the funny car cage there. This is always a problem for me, making up the steering support, the tiny little stuff you got to hold in place while the glue sets up, but it's in there, and the steering shaft actually goes through it and lines up, so that's good. You might be wondering what body's going on there. Well, it's going to be this new style GTO. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, this is this kit here. It's the AMT 2004 Pontiac Gto. I just mainly bought that kit for the body because that's, you know, I wanted to make like a pro mod type top sportsman drag car out of it, so that's what it's going to be. And I cut the floor pan, whatever I had to, you know, around to make it fit in. It just goes in nice under these little tabs here, so it's going to sit low. I didn't do a complete mock-up on it yet, but I, you know, had pretty close, so I know it's going to sit low. And it's going to get these resin wheels, and these are the kit tires from the Pro Sportsman kit. So I think I can detail them up and make them look half decent. And then the front's basically the same style wheel. I can find it in this mess. I'm missing a wheel somewhere. It's laying on the bench here, but anyway, it's the same as the rear. A little bit of cleanup to do on those because they're resin. They have a little bit of edges that need to be trimmed, and I'll probably paint them like a chrome paint. And it's gonna have big block Chevy, basically the engine out of one of the Pro Sportsman kits. It's going to be the tunnel ram and 2 4-barrels. I did cast I was short on Lenco transmissions, and this engine had already had the transmission cut off that I must have used for something else. So I took one of the Lencos that I have and I made a mold with let me see if I can find my mold. It's not the best, you know, like resin casting type, but it works for some small parts. This is what the heck is this called? I have a brand new box of it. It's green stuff. Actually, the blue stuff. The green stuff is the product name, apparently. The blue stuff is, what you do is you put these bars in hot water and then they get soft, and you can mold them into whatever you want. So you can see I pushed it around the Lenco transmission, made it in 2 pieces, and then you put the 2 together. And this time I used this milliput, and you just mix it together with your fingers, and you push it down in the mold, squeeze it together, and let it sit for about an hour. And I ended up with a Lenco. I took a little bit of cleanup sanding on it, and then I sprayed it with some, I don't know if that's primer. I think that's primer. Yeah, I'm going to spray it with some aluminum yet. And, you know, it's not perfect, of course, on the side rails here, but once it's in the car, you're not going to see most of it, and it does look like a Lenco. So I think I'm good to go on that now. So anyway, that's pretty much the end of this update, and I'm hoping in the next couple days I can get all these decals finished and clear both bodies at one time. That way I don't waste clear, because I usually mix up too much and end up pouring it out. So if I can get them done at the same time, it'll save me some from waste and clear. So anyway, that's it for this time. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have an update again in the next week or 2. See ya.